If you're choosing between Thailand and the Philippines, I've lived in both, and here's what most videos won't tell you. The cost of living. Between Thailand and the Philippines, they are fairly close, but Thailand is a little bit more expensive, but still affordable for most Westerners. So when it comes to rent, most apartments, condos in the United States in major cities can cost anywhere from like 1,000, well that's a low ball, 1,000 to 3,000, maybe 4,000 USD a month. If you come to the Thailand or to the Philippines, you can find prices up to maybe 250 USD to at max just 1,000, depending on what your budget is. Now you can find a nice, decent apartment or condo for around 300 to 400 USD, depending on how much space you're willing to deal with. But also, you're not just paying for the space, you're paying for the amenities and also the surrounding area of like major cities and all of the conveniences that you don't have in the United States. Now, for the culture, between Thailand and the Philippines, the culture is, everyone is very friendly, very respectful. You feel really connected with the people, and there's so much hospitality. And there's a sense of pride when they see foreigners come over and they treat us like decent human beings. So when it comes to language between the Philippines and Thailand, Thailand is a little bit rough when it comes to English. There are some English speaking Thai people. Now in the Philippines, the English language is predominantly stronger due to, the historical past. It's easier to communicate with many Filipinos here due to the diversity and of many cultures that come here to live here and integrate. Now, don't ask me about dating because I haven't got there yet, so maybe we'll see that maybe in a few months, maybe. But as for lifestyle, there's tons of beaches to go to. There's tons of things to do. The nightlife is beautiful in both countries. But I would say my favorite place to have a nightlife is in Thailand. There are a lot, like infinite amounts of things you can do. And where I was living is Pattaya. That's how the locals say it, is Pattaya, not Pattaya, Pattaya. I will say there are like, I like to go out, go to clubs, but there is like a sense of like, the clubs is really, really fun in Thailand. And it doesn't feel like some dystopia like the clubs in the United States. But the thing is, like, everyone is friendly. There's always people to talk to, conversate with. And if you come to clubs, the people that work there always make sure that you either have a seat or that you're comfortable. They always ask you, are you okay? What can they do for you? And it just makes you feel really, really welcome. Now, going to the Philippines, when it comes to clubbing and the nightlife, there can be a little bit of friction here. There's rules about, dress attire. There's a dress code. No flip-flops and none of this. When there's girls in the clubs or bars, the bar girls, they always seem to be very, very kind of forceful, kind of pressuring you to buy multiple drinks for multiple girls. And if you're just a guy that just wants to just chill and just drink and just bar hop, because a lot of us from these states know about bar hopping, going from one bar to the next bar to the next bar, just because it's just a thing we do when we go out to bars. We don't just come out to just buy multiple drinks for multiple girls. But the one thing is like the guilt tripping, and then the story of, oh, my son's sick, or it's my son's birthday. It's like, that's not my problem. I just came here to just have a drink and just see different faces, new faces, because that's what I like to do. But I would say between Thailand and the Philippines, when it comes to the nightlife, Thailand takes the win because there are no friction. It's more pleasant, and there's nobody trying to force you to buy drinks for multiple people, multiple girls, when all you want to do is just drink by yourself, for yourself, or just with your friends, and not just sit there and just buy drinks just because. The one thing is, I spend a lot less clubbing than I ever have in the Philippines because I buy a beer. And the thing is, I'm talking so much or socializing so much that it takes like 4 hours for me to finish one beer. When it used to be in the States, I'd be chugging one drink after the next every 30 minutes because nobody is pleasant to really talk to when it comes to some of the bars I used to go to in the States. So moving on to visas. So Thailand, when it comes to visas, for Americans, there's a 30-day entry, visa-free entry. On a tourist visa, you have to do a visa run and then come back. I don't think they have like an extension for just tourists. But in the Philippines, you can show up 30-day entry free and you can do 30-day extensions for 3 years. So you can stay in the country a lot longer than you can with Thailand, because with Thailand you got to do visa runs every month. When it comes to the visa process, I would say the Philippines takes the win. Much simpler, much easy. There's no friction. I just show up at the office, fill out a form, pay the fee, and then I get my passport and I'm good to go for another 30 days. The people in the office are very, very friendly, very helpful, and if you have any questions, they always happy to answer. Moving on to safety and comfort. So when it comes to safety and comfort, Thailand, I can walk around at night, not be bothered by anyone, the police, nobody. It's just easy to just wander around at night and not worry about anything. There may be like street dogs, but they don't really bother you. And the locals that walk around at night, they don't really bother you. Nobody approaches you. No one asks you for anything. There are no beggars. I don't really see people living on the street. And now this is in Pattaya. I have not been anywhere else but Pattaya, around that whole area. But overall, never been worried. The guards, police, they've always just been super, super chill and nice. They even try to help you out if you need help, or they ask if you need help. Now, in the Philippines, when it comes to walking around at night, it's all right still, but you will see people like sleeping on the streets, or you will see a lot of beggars and a lot of people that use kids, try to get money from you, and there are scammers on the street. It's often annoying. One incident I had, I was trying to have Korean fried chicken and I was just sitting there, I haven't even had a chance to bite, and there was like 6 people coming up to me going, and it's annoying because all I want to do is just eat. Please leave me alone. And I have to keep saying no, 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 go away. And I don't want to be rude, but like, come on, do people not have manners to not bother people when they're trying to eat? And that's about the only thing that, not the only thing, but one of the things that bothers me in the Philippines is the amount of beggars and the amount of just people just on the street just not like leave you alone. Most of the time, if I'm walking somewhere, someone's always calling out to me, maybe to ask for something. I just keep walking because I do the same thing in the States. I do not stop for anyone. Do not bother me. It is dark. It is nighttime. I don't trust no one. But when it comes to comfort and safety, I would say Thailand takes the win because I've never had to worry about that ever. I could just eat outside in peace, not be bothered by anyone. I can walk around at night and not worry about people or kids bothering me or begging me for any baht, but Thailand takes the win for that. And one more thing, when it comes to transportation between the Philippines and Thailand, they're both relatively cheap. When it comes to traffic, it's very chaotic in the Philippines. It's very chaotic versus Thailand. Thailand is a little bit more organized. Some of the drivers are a bit aggressive, but it's very, very manageable. It's easy to walk. It's easy to cross the street. You don't have to wait for so long, maybe a few minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, because traffic's so backed up just to cross the street. Versus Philippines, traffic is like constantly. It never rests. And sometimes it can take you forever to get anywhere by car. So you almost have to take a bike every time. So one more thing, sometimes in the Philippines, depending on where you are in a major city, it could take an hour to get a grab. Versus Thailand, I could be anywhere and I have Bolt. I can just call a cab and within like a minute, I have a ride. I have never had to wait for so long just to get a ride in Thailand. But the Philippines, I've been burned so many times when it comes to trying to get a ride. I have been even frustrated. The furthermore I was in Manila, it's a nightmare, but it's manageable. So I will say Thailand takes the win when it comes to transportation. On to the next thing, the women. So this is just my personal experience, only my personal experience, so don't take it to heart. In Thailand, I would say when it came to my experience with the women, they were very, very nice, very genuine, and they always, want to anytime I, met some girls, they'd always take me to places like new restaurants, new shops, and they would just introduce me into like new cuisines, the cheapest places to eat, and I'm gonna say they spoiled me to death. Usually I try to like not eat as much, but they were just ordering all kinds of things, and I was just eating. They hardly even take a bite, but I was mostly the only person eating, and I was stuffed. And I had like so many different combinations of food: rice, noodles, seafood, chicken, pork, everything, and then a lot of beer. It was a grand experience. And then they showed me some other places like malls, more restaurants, of course. But anyway, it was free. Now moving on to the Philippines. Now I would say when I first got to the Philippines, I did not have such a great experience when it came to the women, because the very first thing I ran into was a woman that was friends with one of my former associates, and his idea was trying to set me up with her, but it did not work out because she was trying to get something out of me. It just seems like everything was just transactional, and every time I didn't want to go through with it, there was just this cold front. But I will say I ran into a lot of BS in the Philippines. And I also got traumatized when I first got here because I had a stalker trying to extort me. The first time this ever happened to me, and I had stalkers before in the States, but this was a whole new level of stalker. So bad that I had to get the authorities and some legal advice, file some reports to the local authorities, had to do a lot of blocking. I basically had to take all my social medias down, change my name on everything just to get this chick to leave me alone, quit trying to harass me, and also threaten to contact my family and friends. And I was like, I'm not having that. So I was not at peace for like a few months in the Philippines. While all this was happening, it was making me miss Thailand even more because I had none of that BS going on. Like, I had nothing like that going on. It was nice and peaceful. It was like a dream. It was the dream I always wanted. But it took me a while when I got here to the Philippines to heal a little bit from all that traumatic mess, because I had friends. I made friends here. And over the time of making friends here, it's helped me get over that hump, and I was able to get right back on track. And I'll tell you a story on another video about my other traumatic event when I first got here, because it's a domino effect of gotcha. But overall, I would say between the Philippines and Thailand, my personal opinion, I would say Thailand takes the win. I've just had more pleasantries and more fun. I would just say it's been better for me in Thailand than it has in the Philippines. But hopefully, maybe the longer I spend in the Philippines, the more it'll level itself out. Like, subscribe, let me know what you think about this video. If I missed anything, if you got any questions, any suggestions of what else I should make, please let me know in my email or the comment section. See ya, and peace.